Today we are going to cover a very interesting topic. Many people are trying to come to Europe for data engineering and data architect jobs. And today I will just briefly touch upon how you can prepare for the data engineering interviews because data engineering is a vast field and there are a lot of topics which we need to cover as a part of interview process. And I will be just guiding you in a brief video how you can prepare yourself before the interview. Obviously, this is a very brief session. I'll be just touching a few points, but I will be also creating more videos on this line. So if you can see, I just created kind of a small PPT to go through with you. And these are the key areas which need your attention before you are preparing for a data engineering interview. Now, first and foremost, you should be a good programmer because most of the data engineering roles expect you to create data pipelines or data warehouse or data models, right? Where you need a lot of programming skills. And the key skill is SQL, then you need Python, and many projects you need PySpark. So just keep practicing these skills, programming skills, because most of the interviews will you will have one or two problems around Python and SQL. So if you can crack that problem uh, in a good way, there is always a high chance the interviewer is going to select you. Now coming to the next point, which is the data warehouse and data modeling concept, because data engineering is a lot of about structured data. So obviously, data warehouse is a key concept, and there are many MPPs like massively parallel processing data warehouses in the market, which you should be aware of, like Snowflake or Amazon Redshift or Azure Synapse. And then you also should know how the data modeling works. What are the slowly changing dimension type? How you design your fact and dimension tables, and little bit deep on data modeling because interviewer may ask you the data warehouse or data modeling questions. Now coming to the cloud data engineering services, these are very important data services because most of the customers now are going for cloud data engineering products, and you have to choose one or mostly two clouds which you are comfortable with, maybe AWS and Azure or GCP. And depending upon that, you have to know most of the important products, data products, which is used to create a data platform. Like if I go for example, AWS, you should know how AWS Glue works, how EMR works, what is the difference between Glue and EMR, right? When you use Lambda, right? When you use AWS managed Airflow. So all these services you should be aware, and it is required that when you are claiming that you have worked on those area, you should have a proper hands-on on those services. So at least the projects you are highlighting, you must have done on those platforms, or you should have a proper hands-on so that when the question is asked, you should be able to answer those. Now, the next one is a high demanding products. Like if you just see the market is flooded with many high data engineering product requirements like Databricks from the for processing unstructured data, then Snowflake for data warehouse, Kafka for streaming pipelines, and the orchestration for the Airflow, right? And DBT is for kind of deploying the declarative model. So these kind of products, whenever you are targeting or you are putting in your CV, you make sure that all the features related to this you already have covered or you have a pretty good hands-on because when the interviewer will see these products you have used and you have already put it in your CV, you can expect any questions on the products or the features of the products, right? And I when I take the interviews, I see a lot of people who are coming who are not prepared on the current or latest features of a product. Like they have written in their CV, I've used Databricks, but when I'm asking something about autoloader or I'm asking something about DLT table, they fail to answer. And if you do that kind of mistake, obviously you will be losing the chance for selections because the interviewer will expect that you must know the products which you are working on. So be careful on that. The CI/CD or DevOps is a very important experience because most of the time we data engineers are playing with data and we have a separate DevOps team who are handling it. But don't ignore those knowledge because most of the time with current data engineering mm, platforms, right? So we expect that data engineer also very much aware on the CI/CD and they should able to deploy all their pipelines and models by themselves. So just focus on that, understand how Docker works, understand high level how Kubernetes works, what are the CI/CD pipelines, how Git integrations works, how Git action works. So just try to understand those, and if you can do some hands-on, that will be nice. And the last but not least, that it is not only about the knowledge. So you may have theoretically read a lot of things and understood the concepts, but that doesn't suffice because the real problem solving experience is the real hands-on which the interviewer is looking for. Because when you are hired for an organization, either you are hired for a product organizations or a service-based organizations. When you are going to be in a product organizations, from the day one, you will be working with the product team where the people working are pretty hands-on and you are expected to solve real-world problems, right? Not you cannot say that I know this, I can do this. You have to execute and you have to solve problems. At the same time, when you are joining service-based company, then obviously you are expected to work for a customer where customer is looking for an expert who have those skills so that you can execute those, right? So hands-on and real problem-solving experience is a key. If you have that, it will be easier for you to crack the interview. Only knowing theory, uh, you may float for some time, but interviewer will sooner or later catch that you don't have a real experience. Now, these are the some things I thought that these 4 points I just put, maybe there are more number of points you can add in the later sessions, but these are the reason of failure in the technical round, right? The key reason of failure. Number one, I'll say uh, not able to write code for the problem given. So you have been given a problem and you are not able to finish the coding or you are struggling with the coding, right? If that happens, that does mean you are not in regular practice of coding, right? So the key idea is, everybody in the interview, many people in the interview explain me that, if given a time I can write the code or ChatGPT can write the code. Yeah, that is correct. But you are expected to write a code when you are joining as a data engineer or developer because uh, it is not about if you can write the code later or you can use chat gpt. The interviewer is actually looking that are you regularly writing code or not, because it's kind of a second nature for you, right? So if you are driving, you will know driving, right? So you cannot say, okay, if the road is empty I can drive. No, that's not the case. So if you are writing programs regularly, obviously then only you can execute or you can write the program. And this may happen that in your current project, you may be doing a lot of configuration tasks and you are not in touch in coding. But if you are going for an interview, make sure that you have take 1 month or 2 months of time and every day take some time and write and practice some coding. The second one is I have already discussed, not able to answer the latest or important features of the product which you claimed you have. For example, if in the recent interview I was asking one person that, example like how Databricks autoloader, right, manages schema evolution, and the person failed to answer, whereas he have highlighted that he have worked for 2 3 Databricks projects, right? So if you have uh, put that in the resume that you have worked and then you fail to answer, that is very bad. So in case you have worked on that project, it's good. If you don't, then try to do some POC, right? Or understand the concept so that you can answer those questions. Number three is a very generic mistake happened by many, uh, many candidates that they want to share that we have a lot of knowledge and recently they want to show that I have done a lot of GenAI, agentic AI and all this, and with that, when they are showing that, they actually not able to establish themselves as a seasoned data engineer, where when they are thrown a typical PySpark problem or distributed computing problem, optimization problem, they will not able to solve that. So that doesn't look good, because if you are coming as a data engineer, so your core skill is data engineering, so you will be first evaluated on that. Now, obviously, if you know top up on that, you are very good at agentic AI or Gen AI, that will add some value to your current role, and obviously that can increase your chance of selections and maybe little bit of salary hike when you are in negotiation phase. But if you don't know the basic skill, whatever you are interviewed for, you are obviously going to fail. So your first target is to make sure if you are coming for data engineering role, you make your data engineering concept solid. One, you confident that you are covered with that. Then top upon that, you can prepare for AI or agentic AI. But it should not happen other way around. That will basically make your chance less in the interview. The last one is not able to answer the question to the point, because many times what happens, the interviewer is a busy person and he is basically taking your interview between his own calls, right? Or he have a lot of meetings, and then he is trying to understand the if you are aware of the concept or not. It may be possible you have a lot of knowledge and you want to explain a lot of things to him and you want to impress him, but sometimes it happens that he just want to understand that you know it or not, and that suffice, right? So when things can be done in a shorter manner or easier manner, don't try to overdo, because sometimes that kills, because at that time interviewers may be exhausted and he may be irritated, and your chance of rejection will be high. So it is not about only what you know or what you don't know. It is also connecting with the person who is taking your interview, right? So we have a problem statement. Are you a right candidate to solve the problem statement? I hope you like the video. Please like, subscribe to my channel, and I will keep creating this kind of videos for all of you. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.